What's cracking, everybody? Rose here, bringing you some exciting Pokemon Go Battle League content. In this video, I hit Legend with a team that I have been running for the entire season, and honestly for the past few seasons with multiple different iterations, but it's always been the same with the Deoxys defense lead with the Drapion safe switch. Now Drapion, Shadow Drapion, is absolutely busted in Open Ultra League as a safe switch. I'm just going to put that out there. It is by far the best thing that I've ever invested in for this league, and I would definitely recommend you build one as well. It's just amazing, and you're going to see why in this video. So we got Shadow Walrein as our closer in this video. It's just super spammy and great and everything, and this is the Legend run, and I'm going to show it to you. Let's get right into these battles here. Real quick shout out to my patron supporters. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for all of the support that you've shown me over the last couple of seasons since we started doing this. And if you'd like to become a patron of mine, I have a link in the description that you can join and get teams like this before they go live on the good old YouTube. So we've got a Confusion Crest in the lead, which is kind of unusual, but so what I do is I like to whittle down Crest a little bit, and then I safe swap into Drapion. Now I get met with Scrafty, and probably at least half these battles Scrafty swaps in on the Drapion. Now the way that I play this is I go straight Sludge Bomb. I don't even bait with Crunch, and I go straight Sludge Bomb. I let the first power up punch come through, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try and CMP tie them on the first and the second, so that we don't end up sneaking counters through. It's just easier to control it that way. I'll go for the second Sludge Bomb here, usually gets the shield, and then I'll go for the third Sludge Bomb and shield the second power-up punch if they throw it. Now, my opponent in this case doesn't throw it, but here's what gets a lot of people off guard. Sludge Bomb's count is 665, and my opponent gives me Switch, and then they quit. And I think that they probably realized what happened. I don't know if it was because they didn't realize what the counts were, but so Sludge Bomb is 665. We kind of capitalize on a lot of people not knowing that, because they'll think it's a crunch and then not shield it, and then you win Switch, and then you win the game. So I'm trying to catch a crunch here on the Drapion from the Skuntank. I completely fail, but I can't give up a shield on the off chance that maybe they just threw late. But it's Flamethrower, that hurts a lot. And then they come in with a Phalanx. Now this person is a Legend player, so congratulations to them first of all for hitting Legend. They're running some spice here. They're running Phalanx, which is really cool. However, they're gonna put up shields to keep this Phalanx alive, and I am just not able to get to that Sludge Bomb, which was so important to be able to get to it, because that would have been able to do damage. My opponent's counting. They know it's a crunch. They don't shield. So now that I've lured out their fighter, hopefully their only fighter, I am gonna throw some energy into this thing and just try and whittle it down with my Deoxys. They shield a potential Psycho Boost, and that's actually kind of huge for me, but I can't Psycho Boost here because I forgot it had Mega Horn too. Let me just hit the button because that was important. That was a lot of damage. And I shield a superpower, so I'm a buffoon right now. My opponent hard swaps into the Drapion, and now what I can do is I can bring my Walrein in. I can outpace this thing. I've got shield. I've got a shield still, and I think I'm pretty sure that I get here. Now I'm gonna overfarm a little bit. I was kind of not keeping complete track of my energy, so I do have to shield this crunch, but now I'm making the choice to just farm it all the way down. I know that the Phalanx just needs one Icicle Spear to go down, and I'm hoping whatever I got in the back is weak to Walrein. So here comes the Phalanx. It's going to come in, it's going to take this Icicle Spear, and now Icicle Spear is going to take out Phalanx, and they've got Como, and I just needed two Icicle Spears to get in there and take that out, and I was going to get there before they got to their first Dragon Claw. So good game to my opponent there. Well played. Registeel sucks so bad on any part of this team because you don't have a hard answer to it anywhere. It's all a team effort to bring out the Registeel. So when we play it on the lead, we get Deoxys to counter down until they throw the Zap Cannon. You tank the Zap Cannon, you bail out, and you go into Drapion. If your opponent stays in, that's great. You're going to have a better chance to whittle down their Registeel, and they probably are going to stay in. So what I like to do here is I like to throw 7 to 8 Poison Stings. If I'm guaranteed and I know that I'm going to CMP tie them, I'll go ahead and throw it 8, like if I instant swap, for example. But in this particular case, I go for 7 just to make sure that I don't CMP tie. Just to make sure I can sneak another Poison Sting through. My opponent swaps in Cresselia. Now, they do have 2 shields. However, Crunch still hurts. Cresselia is not something you bring into a Drapion. I don't care if you zap cannon it or not first anyway. So Cresselia is going to throw some Moonblasts here. Moonblast does a sizable chunk of damage to Drapion. Typically, this is better when the Drapion has a full attack stat and a full health bar, but it's okay because the crunches are still doing a ton of damage. Look at this. I just need to get one more crunch, and I go to catch the Moonblast on my Deoxys, kind of understanding here that the energy on that Drapion could be important later in this game. So I'm going to continue to farm up energy. Look to CMP tie the Cresselia here. Throw this Rock Slide. I know it's not going to be enough to take it out, but it's going to get it super low so that either something else can farm it down, or if they don't do enough damage to take out my Deoxys, I can farm it down with Deoxys. So Grass Knot comes through, does not quite do enough damage, but they are going to be able to leave me with almost no health, so this Registeel could easily come in and farm me down just like that. So I'm going to throw a Psycho Boost. I'm going to do a little bit of chip damage right before I go down. Psycho Boost does a little bit, just a tiny bit, but I'm not going to be able to get to a second one because I have no HP left. So now my opponent has a Registeel with 2 shields. I have a Drapion with some health and some energy, and I'm going to come in because I know that they don't have a lot of energy, and I'm going to throw these crunches, and I want to start getting shields. The Registeel solo that I could honestly Icicle Spirit and probably almost take it down, but my opponent takes it out, and here comes a Swampert. Here comes Swampert. It's a Water Gun Swampert. Have you ever seen a Water Gun Swampert before? Because I sure haven't. It's new to me. I've seen him with Surf, but I haven't seen him with Water Gun. So I'm going to throw crunches here. These 2 crunches, what they're going to let me do is they're going to get the Swampert either out of shields or put it in Icicle Spear range for my my Walrein. And because it's running Water Gun, it's going to take a long time to get to charge moves. So that being said, I also know that an Earthquake from a non-Shadow Swampert will not KO me. So I'm not shielding this because even if it's an Earthquake, what are they going to do? Water Gun me to death? No. So they Hydro Cannon me. Doesn't do much damage, but they're able to get to a second Hydro Cannon. So they had enough for the Earthquake, but they decided not to do it. I needed to save my shield for the Registeel because if I don't, that's it. But it's so low they just give up, which is fine. I needed to save the shield for the Registeel because they could have had a move loaded before I got there, and then I would have had no health on my Drapion to do anything with. So Deoxys Lead, I've been seeing more and more of these lately. Deoxys Lead, what I do is I stay in, I whittle it down. You know, I try to charge up to about 2 Rock Slides before I throw the first one. Gives me the extra counter through, plus I can kind of keep track of their energy. But this person is running Thunderbolt, and Rock Slide is superior for 2 reasons. 1, it costs less energy, still hits the flyers. 2, Talonflame. It makes Talonflame so much better. You can outpace Talonflame to the first move and to the third move, and you win the 2 shields easy. You even win. I think you win every even shield scenario with Deoxys. It's actually kind of nutty. So I'm just trying to make sure that my opponent empties out their energy a bit here, and I'm going to swap in a Drapion here to start charging up some energy. And because they're running Thunderbolt, they're going to throw a Psycho Boost at me. So I'm going to charge up some energy here, go straight for the crunch. I want to either get a shield off this Deoxys or completely take it out of the game so it doesn't have to mess with my Walrein whatsoever. And my opponent lets it go, which is great. Now they come in with a Walrein. We've got 2 shields on 2 shields still, so I know that this isn't a horrible matchup, and I'm kind of starting to understand here why I might start going for Sludge Bomb first in the future, possibly. It really depends on the situation, because the thing is a non-Shadow Walrein, your crunch damage, it doesn't quite do half of its HP, so you can't 2-shot it. Now, if you're running Sludge Bomb, if I threw the Sludge Bomb right here, that would have KO'd, and I know it. But they don't shield because they know the crunch isn't going to KO, and they don't expect me to throw the Sludge Bomb. So that was my fault for not throwing the Sludge Bomb there. But I shielded before because the opponents tend to they could have Earthquake, and it's every single time that I decide not to shield that they throw the Earthquake, and every time I do shield, they throw the Icicle Spear. So I'm just never going to win that mind game, but it's okay. Opponent comes in with Greedent, and this is very dicey for me because Greedent has Bullet Seed and Body Slam, and that is very dangerous for a Walrein that is down a shield. So my opponent blocks the Psycho Boost, which is good for me, because Psycho Boost isn't really going to do a ton of damage. Walrein is where it's at. So Walrein with 1 shield versus Greedent with 1 shield. What's going to happen here is I'm going to actually go for the Icicle Spear here. And then I think this is the match where I go for Earthquake. I typically, what I'll do here is I'll either go straight Icicle Spear, or I'll go for the Earthquake and then the Icicle Spear, because the thing is like the Earthquake is going to guarantee me the big damage, and the opponent almost never shields the first move. However, because my opponent has only one shield, I can't really risk them hitting or shielding the Earthquake. So I'd rather them shield an Icicle Spear because it's worth a lot less energy. And at this point, what I can do is I can save this shield for Deoxys, because they can't take me out with a Body Slam on Deoxys. At least not yet. I'm over farming here. The reason why, I'm expecting a catch. The Walrein has no energy. I'm not afraid of it. Now all I gotta do is throw Psycho Boost into the green and we're done. I was essentially, what I was trying to do there is I was trying to go up to 2 Psycho Boosts, but my opponent kind of made it easy on me and they swapped out while I was doing that. So GG's to them though, but that was still, I mean, the timing was good enough. I just had a different motive there. So Tapu Fini is actually not great for Deoxys. The reason why is because it runs Water Gun. Any one-turn move is usually not a good thing for Deoxys because of how quickly it just kind of shreds through its HP bar. So Walrein comes in. I'm a little slow on the swap. I wasn't really expecting them to swap out, to be honest, because that's a good it's a good matchup for them. So I wasn't expecting them to swap, but so I'm a little bit behind on energy. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to throw the Icicle Spears. I'm going to bait the Earthquake just because, just like everyone does to me, I have to think that maybe they're going to shield this. And had I gone for Earthquake here, I would have just deleted the Drapion because they just let it go. So, oh well, that's all right. So I need to fight for switch here though. And the reason why is because my Drapion has a much better time against this thing in Deoxys. But I let it go. I figure it's probably not worth it to go down 2 shields. I can come in and I can actually farm all the way down with Drapion, and I dare them to come in with Tapu Fini at this point. So now they're going to show me what they've got in the back. I mean, the Deoxys matchup against Tapu Fini isn't the worst. It's just not amazing because the Water Gun damage adds up very quickly. So my opponent's got Scrafty, and here we go. Once again, now I know that to win this matchup, all I need is 1 shield, or I'm going to get both the shields off my opponent. So what ends up happening here is I'm so far ahead on energy, I can throw that matchup part of it out the window and just go straight Sludge Bomb here. I can come up with my Deoxys now, and what that allows me to do is allows me to bank my Drapion for later, because it's got some health left, and it's got the ability to get Sludge Bombs before that Tapu Fini can get to a Surf to take it out. So I have that in the back pocket, and what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to get through this Tapu Fini, maybe try to farm it down, and then throw another Sludge Bomb at that Scrafty. So we're going to find out how this goes here, but opponent's not shielding anything, and that's kind of, I mean, they got to shield something at some point, right? Because, I mean, they're probably going to shield something off of my my Drapion, if anything. But I shield here just to preserve some HP, because I know that if I have some HP on my Scrafty, plus if they threw Moonblast, that would kind of suck for me. I know that the HP on the Deoxys is going to help me. But also, if I have enough energy, I can throw some moves into the Scrafty. Now, I'm pretty sure that I'm about to get the Shaft here, but it's okay. So I have to let this go. I don't have a choice. I think I lose this. I think this is the one I lose, actually. Power Up Punch comes in, and because they still have a shield, all I can really do here is go for Sludge Bomb, get a shield off of them, and then try to throw something at them and not do anything. I was just ratting on one of my opponents for running Thunderbolt. This is the one game I would have liked to have Thunderbolt. But overall, it's not worth it to have Thunderbolt. So, run Rock Slide. You win some, you lose some. It's okay. Very well played to my opponent. I kind of got a little bit team comp there. The Tapu Fini is kind of dangerous for this team, but in the end, it's okay. So we've got another game here. We've got Deoxys on the lead versus Como. Now this is a dangerous one because Como lands a close combat on anything on my back line. That's a problem. And I'd kind of like to prefer to deal with it on the lead. Even though Walrein does super effective damage to it, it's still not something that I want ideally, because those Dragon Tails and Dragon Claws add up very quickly regardless. And my opponent knows shields like a boss. So yeah, that sucks. I know they're going to go for Dragon Claw here. There's no reason to go for a close combat. Dragon Claw does a little bit of damage. I'm going to be able to go for this Rock Slide here. I'm hoping that this one gets the shield. What I was trying to do was I was trying to bait as if I was going to go for Psycho Boost. My opponent didn't fall for it, but now they do. And because they're down a shield, I can easily shield whatever this is. and have a little bit of an energy advantage and even shields against whatever comes back in. My opponent comes in, stays in with the Como, that's a problem, but they've got a Registeel. Now, because I got those two Powder Snows in, I'm going to be able to get to the Earthquake before the opponent is going to be able to get to a Zap Cannon and or Focus Blast, which is huge because that allows me now to not only outpace them to the next Earthquake, but it also allows me to force the shield because now they're not going to be able to debuff me before my Earthquake goes off. So Zap Cannon comes through. I do shield it. No shields left on either side. They got a Como, a Registeel, and I imagine there's probably something in the back that has some semblance of anti-charmism to it. So gonna throw this Earthquake at the Registeel. I can't even kaboom it because it barely doesn't even half its health. And they CMP time me. So now the Focus Blast comes in, takes out my takes out my Walrein and claps it out of existence. And now I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna farm up. What I want my opponent to do here is I want them to throw their energy into my Deoxys, because I know that my Drapion can come in and farm it down, which is good. It's all I need. It's all I need. So now Drapion's gonna come in and it's a Talonflame. This is not what I wanted to see here. Not at all what I wanted to see here. Bravery comes through. Oh, absolutely hurts. Now, this game is a little bit painful because this is almost a win. Look, the Sludge Bomb takes out the whole Talonflame, and I was clicking on the crunch, but it didn't throw. I think the opponent's lock-on was just perfectly in time with me pressing that button, and unfortunately I didn't click it fast enough, and I could have won that game if I was a little bit more diligent with my charge move, but unfortunately lost it. So at this point I'm at like 2960 something, so I need a 4-1, and this is game 2 of the last set. So at this point I'm like, man, I gotta win all of these games. So I'm hyped up. I'm hoping that I can pull this off. Now they come in with S-Cav to counter my Drapion, and I know that my Drapion actually can win the 2 shields if I'm good enough about it, but they're getting really far ahead, and it's not happening, Jim. So excuse me, I'm going to be able to pull both shields off the Morrowind switch, and because I went down 2 shields here, that's actually going to get my opponent to just let it go. Fine with me. I get switched now. I get to keep my Walrein on the Goodra. I have a ton of energy. I get to throw at least 2 crunches here, and I'm going to knock a shield off this Goodra for sure, because 1 crunch does almost half. So I'm fine with that. Now, they're going to shield the Goodra. Now I have to remember the Goodra has 3 things that I need to worry about here. They have Muddy Water, don't care. They have Power Whip, problem for Walrein. And they have Draco Meteor, problem for everything, because I know shields. So I really have to be careful. And I'm trying to fish out and see what moves they have. Now they're going to throw a move. I know this wasn't enough for a Draco Meteor, but I'm fearing for my life. And it's just a Power Whip. So I have to be careful here. Now my opponent comes in with a Charizard. This is terrifying because I don't remember how much damage a Blast Burn does to a Shadow Walrein. So I'm going to try and throw as many Icicle Spears as I can. My opponent now is going to CMP time me on this thing, on this charge move here. This has to be a Blast Burn. I know there's no way it's not. So absolutely just takes out almost all my Walrein, but I survive with just enough HP to get this move off. And my opponent has a shield. And so what happens now is I get a couple of Powder Snows in, which is huge because that's enough chip damage for me to get this thing in range for 2 Psycho Boosts without worrying about it, the debuff. So I can just go for the back-to-back Psycho Boost as long as I don't take a Draco Meteor, which I don't, and it's fantastic. If they don't get to another charge move, I'm golden. Go for the Psycho Boost here, and then they're going to have to shield this so they lose the game. And then after this, I just throw the other Psycho Boost. Nope, they just let it go. They did not have the back-to-back moves, so they just let it go. Fine with me. Well played, though. I love the Goodra. That's some spice. Deoxys lead yet again. So same thing as last time. Gonna whittle it down a little bit here. Gonna keep myself topped off on energy. Make sure I've got a Rock Slide because I almost expect there to be Talonflame or something in the back. Otherwise, they probably would be swapping out to a better response and not want to play out this dreadful mirror match in the lead. So my opponent is running Rock Slide, so this is where I have to be cognizant of my own energy in regards to theirs to make sure that I know where they're at, so that I know when I can swap out and have them relatively low on energy. It's always a guessing game because some of them will throw right away, some of them will wait till they have about 2 like I do. always a different story. So Rock Slide comes through. As soon as I get this thing low enough, I've got a Rock Slide still loaded. I can dip to Drapion now, and Drapion can eat a Rock Slide. It's really not that big of a deal. So I go right into my Drapion here. I'm going to try to get there, but no, they swap out too quickly for me. And now I'm just going to keep farming up energy. My opponent is at the Earthquake just about right now. So what I'm going to do, like I usually do, is shield the first move just to make sure they don't try and throw an Earthquake at my face. And here is where I go for the Sludge Bomb, thinking that maybe it might be enough to take it out. But my opponent is going to shield. I don't get to find out if it's enough, unfortunately. So I shield and I shield the Earthquake. I'm just thankful right now that I've shielded this Earthquake, because now all they're going to do is go for Icicle Spears. Icicle Spear is not enough to take me out, and this is an easy opportunity for me to take switch from my opponent, because I was able to shield that Earthquake. They're out of energy, and I outpaced them to the bigger moves. I think this is a CMP tie, it looked like. So I'm going to throw this Crunch, and I think they're just barely survive it. Once again, should have just thrown the freaking Sludge Bomb. Tried to switch out just in case it wasn't a CMP tie, but it wasn't. So I decided to give up on switch and keep my shield here, and I'm going to let Deoxys get a couple more. No, I was going to try and farm down with my Walrein there instead. Usually I would come with Deoxys, but it's fine. So opponent's got the Alolan Muck they come in with. Now, here's the thing. Alolan Muck is part Poison type. You know what Poison types really don't like? They don't like Earthquakes. You know what I'm going to throw at this thing? I'm going to throw an Earthquake. I hope they don't shield, because if they don't, they're going to get one shot, and that's fantastic for me. And now I pretty much win the game. The Walrein is super low, and Deoxys is low enough that I could take it out with one charge move. I'm going to go straight for the Rock Slide. I want them to throw their energy here. I am getting them to throw it. I want to manipulate my opponent into throwing their energy so that they can't throw it at my Walrein, which is exactly what I expected them to do. I'm keeping my shield for said Walrein, and I know this Rock Slide is not going to KO, so I just have to get to a Rock Slide. Can I get there? Probably not, because my opponent didn't have energy. Nope, they're going to try and catch on the Walrein. They catch too quickly, and now I'm able to go for the Rock Slide, and that's going to be able to take out just about all this Deoxys, if not get it so low that my Walrein can easily finish the job. And that is going to be a good game. Well attempted catch, but unfortunately I wasn't throwing Psycho Boost at the resisted Deoxys. It's just not, it didn't feel like the decision, so I was going to keep going. So Drapion lead. This really actually kind of sucks. There's two ways that I played this out. I either go straight into the mirror like that to lure out maybe a fighter, Scrafty, something in the back, or what I'll do instead is I'll try to catch the Crunch on Drapion, but that doesn't always pan out so well. My opponent could leave with a ton of energy, so I felt it was safer to just swap out immediately, get ahead on energy, try and figure something out, and I shield a Leaf Blade like a complete dunce. But I'm going to bait with the Crunch in this case. I want to try and get to one more Sludge Bomb. I have a feeling they're going to shield this anyway, because they probably want to win switch and to get the defense drop. Now, at this point, I'm expecting a Leaf Blade, but I don't know how much damage it does. It does just enough for them to be able to get to this move, and I get to the Crunch. I don't get to the Sludge Bomb, so I have to do the chip damage instead of the stinking nuke. So I don't win switch here, but that's fine. Deoxys is going to come in and farm down. It's a Night Slash, don't care. Night Slash does do super effective damage, but it's not nearly enough for me to really worry about it. Just tickles, right? Deoxys is a tank. It's literally a walking space noodle, and I'm riding it straight into the sun. So opponent comes in with Trevenant, and as soon as I see the Trevenant, they come, I just know. They got Drapion, they got Trevenant. They have no shields. I have a shield. I'm getting an Earthquake off on the Drapion, or I'm getting Icicle Spears off on this Trevenant. So here comes an Earthquake. So once again, just like the last time, we noticed that Poison types don't like Earthquakes, and this is why. One-shots Drapion, takes it out, and all I need to do here is I need to get to an Icicle Spear and then a little bit more. And at this point, I can save the shield for Deoxys, let Deoxys get to a Psycho Boost and take it out, and that's the safe way to do it. My opponent's going to be able to get to a Seed Bomb here, and there's no point in shielding it because I don't need to worry about them CMP tying me, and then I have no shields, and then it's just a mess. I don't want to mess with it. So I'm saving my shield to be safe for Deoxys, right next to the Psycho Boost. Go straight for the Psycho Boost, takes out that stupid tree. Well played to my opponent, though. Very nice play. Very well played. The Walrein, unfortunately, was just that was the Lynch right there. So this is the one. This is the game. I go in, it decides whether I've got Legend or not, and I see an Escavalier on the lead, and I'm slightly just terrified, and I'm slightly overjoyed because I know that I win this matchup as long as I shield a Megahorn. CMP tied on with my opponent on purpose, shielding a potential Mega Horn, and they bait me with a Drill Run. That's not what I wanted to see. Just really hoping they would just go straight for the Mega Horn so I could get the extra energy out of the way. Opponent's a genius. They're up at the legend range. They know what they're doing, right? So Rock Slide gets shielded. They have to shield the Rock Slide, otherwise they're going to get taken out. I once again try to CMP tie by overfarming. My opponent tries to swap to catch the Rock Slide, but instead is going to catch these hands when Walrein goes for another Earthquake. And at this point, I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake, because what I expect my opponent to do here is I expect them to let the Muck go down after drawing out their hardest counter to the Muck, right? And they're going to try and farm down with the Escavalier. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake here, and once again, claps a Poison type out of existence, and now the Escavalier is definitely going to come back in. I'm going to be able to get an Icicle Spear off to chip it down before it's able to counter me down, but instead they CMP tie me, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine. That means you're not going to Mega Horn my Deoxys, and I'm totally fine with that. So Drill Run goes in, takes out the rest of my Walrein. I'm going straight for a couple Rock Slides here. I don't even need to do anything other than just a couple counters. I'm going to get the 2 Rock Slides before they even get to the next move, which is fantastic. I'm fine. They just let it go. Oh, I can't shield this, so I got to save it for the Drapion. Whatever it is in the back, I got to save it. Mega Horn takes out Deoxys. That's why I wanted to... I wanted to shield the Mega Horn. And then they come in with a Gyarados. So this is a very neutral matchup, but with 1 shield. I'm shielding the first move because I don't care. I don't care. I know the Aqua Tail isn't going to take me out, and they're either running Aqua Tail or they're going to hit me with a Resisted Crunch. If they're running Outrage, then so be it. I deserve to lose, right? But going to go for the first Crunch. I need to get to 2 Crunches here, and so close, because I know my opponent's getting to another Aqua Tail, and I don't remember how much damage it does. I don't want to find out, but Crunch is going to get the shield. I need to get 1 more Crunch in, and I get there, but we CMP tie, so I was like, how much damage does this do? It's not enough. Please tell me it's not enough. Thankfully, the Aqua Tail is not enough. We CMP tied, so I get the Crunch without any more fast move damage. Escavalier has 1, count 'em, 1 HP. It's got the pixel left. Look at that. It's gone. That's it. And then with that, legend is achieved. Well played, all of these opponents and all the people that have played this season. It's been a ride. All right, let me tell you, these metas have been an absolute dumpster fire. Great League, Ultra League, all of them. The limited metas have been okay. I didn't really care for Retro Cup, Kanto Cup. They were both, they're stale. They're old and toxic now. But Fossil Cup was pretty fun. And I was glad to hit it, because it means that I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's been very stressful this season, and I don't really know why. It just seems like so many teams and players and everybody's all over the place. It's hard to get anything to run consistently. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, hit legend with this amazing team. I can't stress enough. I know Deoxys is one of those things that's like, you know, it's super whale kind of, it's a super whale kind of Pokemon, but it's so good in Ultra League. It's just, it core breaks so many things. You could try running Toxicroak in its place. You know, Drapion and Walrein, you kind of go between Greedent and you could try Scrafty in the back, or Obstagoon. All of those Pokemon work in tandem with Deoxys. You really just want Anti-Ghosts in the back. That's really what you're aiming for. So hopefully you guys have fun with this team. If you try it, let me know how it goes in the comments. If you guys are having a good time in Ultra League, or if you're struggling too. I mean, I know I have been. I've slingshotted up and down for a while. So anyway, that's my monologue. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.